The NASCAR Cup Series playoffs round of 16 is over, and I don't even know how to describe just what the hell happened. I suppose we could start with the playoff predictions I made last week and make adjustments, and I definitely need to make some. Of the 4 drivers I predicted to be eliminated in this round, only one was actually eliminated here. For this video, we're going to be focusing on the drivers who got eliminated and the overall chaos that was the round of 16, as well as highlighting one particular driver that managed to pretty much advance to the round of 12 exactly how I said he would. While it definitely wouldn't be anything resembling his saving grace, I do believe Cindric would make it to this round by probably a few points, but would for sure go no farther. I was right! Despite hitting the wall and going a few laps down, Austin Cindric managed to clinch the 12th spot by consistently running good laps. It did help that the 4 drivers eliminated had several issues in the cutoff race the other night at Bristol Motor Speedway. Cindric's biggest competition for that final spot ended up getting a DNF, which I will get into later in the video, while Cindric was able to keep his car running and turn more and more laps. He ended up finishing above the cut line and made it to the round of 12 by a few points, just as I predicted. Now, let's get on to the eliminated drivers. I did not expect Tyler Reddick to falter as soon as he did, but props to him for being as close as he was to making it to the next round. Though his finishes didn't really amount to much, he started off strong at Darlington, finishing 3rd, but then finished 35th at Kansas and 25th at Bristol. He started off strong, but ended up fizzling out midway through and unfortunately just never recovered. It was definitely a surprise to see Kyle Busch eliminated this soon, though blowing an engine late in the Bristol race, which I briefly touched on earlier, didn't help at all. In fact, that blown engine is probably the sole reason he was eliminated in the first place. His other finishes in the round were not much better, recording finishes of 30th at Darlington and 26th at Kansas, before coming in 34th at Bristol with that blown engine. It wasn't even his first one, having blown an engine at Darlington as well. It's not like his elimination came solely at Bristol. It was just an overall sucky round of 16. Of the 4 drivers I predicted to be eliminated in the last video, this is the only one I actually got right. My guess that Austin Dillon's win was a fluke and that he wouldn't advance past this round ended up coming to fruition, with finishes of 17th and 14th holding him on just barely below the cut line before his finish of 31st by running out of time on the damaged vehicle policy clock ruined his chances. What the hell happened? 2 of Kevin Harvick's last 4 finishes in the regular season were wins, and now he's out of the playoffs! And it isn't even like he had an unsigned contract looming over his head for a chunk of the season like Kyle Busch did, so that makes this even more jarring. I mean, seriously, I had Harvick in my championship 4! Harvick had an abysmal 33rd at Darlington and 36th at Kansas, with his car catching on fire at Darlington. He had to win at Bristol to make it in the next round, and he merely finished 10th. Of my wrong predictions so far, this one is by far my most blatant. With the eliminated drivers now talked about, let's discuss the hell that was this round of 16. To start us off here, for the first time in the history of the elimination format, all 3 winners in a single round were non-playoff drivers. Eric Jones, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, none of them made it into the playoffs. And yet they are 3 winners in the round of 16. Nobody was saved coming into Bristol. Bristol, the biggest wreckfest track that isn't a super speedway. In any case, let's pick each race apart and see just what the hell happened. Before I start talking about the playoff races, I will be mentioning that I will not mention any sort of incidents that do not have anything to do with the playoff drivers. So Ricky Stenhouse Jr. slamming into the wall and Todd Gilliland spinning out at Darlington will not be discussed. The only exception is going to the wins because those did affect the playoff drivers, as I've already mentioned. Right off the bat at Darlington, Daniel Suarez got hit with a penalty for failing inspection to go to the tail end of the field. The Kyles had engine issues with Kyle Busch not being able to finish the race. Larson later crashed, but was somehow still able to keep going, while the chases crashed into each other, with Elliott not being able to continue. Late in the race, Kevin Harvick's car caught on fire, as I mentioned before, and he made a statement to NASCAR about it after the race. Ross Chastain had suspension issues of some sort, but was able to keep running. At some point during the playoff race, Joey Logano made a claim stating he's the playoff favorite. You probably don't know this yet, and I'm probably upsetting about all of, 30 people? But I am an avid Joey Logano hater. Have been since 2015. I still call his 2018 championship complete boosh, and I'm not even blue in the face yet. Much to my own displeasure, I'll be talking about Joey Logano more in a future video after this season ends, where I will be ranking every single season in the elimination format from 2014 to now, based off the championships. But for now, let's just continue on. Kansas didn't really seem to offer much in terms of playoff issues, mostly just consisting of Kevin Harvick and Tyler Reddick crashing, and overall just issues on pit road across the board, playoff and non-playoff drivers alike. Kyle Busch did hit the wall but was able to continue, and Denny Hamlin finished second, again, this time to a car he owns, Bubba Wallace. Oh boy. Bristol was absolute hell this time around. There was certainly a gladiator fight at the last Great Coliseum, with Ryan Blaney and Kevin Harvick losing tires, Austin Dillon taking sufficient damage to run out of time on the damaged vehicle policy clock and ending his race early, securing his elimination. Kyle Busch blew another engine, guaranteeing his elimination as well. Daniel Suarez crashed, but was able to continue. Several drivers locked themselves into the next round on points throughout the race, and Chris Buescher won the race. Yeah, that Chris Buescher. We've already discussed who were eliminated, so let's reorganize my predictions so that we can try and salvage something out of all this. Alex Bowman was one of the drivers to lock himself into the next round on points, but I don't think that will happen this time. I think the same thing that happened to Tyler Reddick in the round of 16 will happen to Alex Bowman here. He'll have some solid runs, but just won't stave off elimination. Copy paste what I said in the last video. Austin Cindric and Daniel Suarez won't get any farther in this round. Moving on. Chase Briscoe will probably end up getting a playoff ending DNF here. And it'll probably be either at Talladega or the Charlotte Roval. Most likely Talladega. With Kyle Busch eliminated, this was where I had to get creative. Copy paste everything I said about Joey Logano and Ross Chastain. And Christopher Bell will actually be able to soar into this round, but will come to a halt. Same for William Byron. All four drivers I chose to be eliminated in this round had locked in on points at Bristol. So I believe that will carry on through the round of 12, but come to an end here. Again, copy-paste Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and Denny Hamlin. But Ryan Blaney is the twist here. With Kevin Harvick out of the picture, someone is going to stand up to take his place, and I think that someone will be Blaney. He managed to hold on, running in the top 10 consistently in all three races of the round of 16. He finished 13th at Darlington and 9th at Kansas, both with the car pretty much intact, before losing a tire at Bristol and managing to get that fiasco fixed up for a 30th place finish. But he had run up high consistently enough, even at Bristol prior to the incident, that he was able to stockpile enough points to advance. And I believe that Ryan Blaney will continue this consistency of running up front and make it to the championship 4, even if he doesn't win it. Again, copy paste what I said. Chase Elliott wins the championship. So that is going to do it for the round of 16 and my predictions for Beyond. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like on it. And if you want to come back to see how my predictions turned out and other videos on my channel as well, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when the next video goes up. Take care, y'all. Ace Delta 12 out.